Hello, everyone. My name is Pianpian. I'm the founder and CEO of Amotions. Today, we're speaking with Elena Mikhailov, global human capital leader and leadership coach. We're going to talk about first building relationships in remote settings, because right now, most people are still working from home remotely if they are working in some kind of used to be working in some kind of office capacity. So yeah, I would like to start the conversation by asking, how's it going for you, Elena, working remotely from home, and what are the learnings so far?
Certainly, certainly. Um, I think for me personally, it works well, simply because I don't know. I feel like I have always worked with global companies and I've always worked with remote employees, even though they weren't really remote locally, they were remote for me, or I was remote for them rather. So this isn't really something new for me. So yeah, I think that having an optionality of a flexible work environment where I can, go into the office, or I can, take my calls from home and work from home, it's actually quite beneficial. So for me, this wasn't really a huge change, to be perfectly honest. But I do know for folks who have been used to really going in every day, working with their coworkers, and that's been, like for whom it's been like a really primary group of people that they have interacted with, I think it's probably a little challenging, or it has been a little challenging over the past year and a half to really manage those relationships and maintain them or build new ones. I mean, companies are still hiring or now hiring. Like I'm sure a lot of companies have had freezes in 2020. Now we're kind of in the hiring boom, and so you probably have a lot of new hires, a lot of new coworkers, a lot of new teammates that are not located in the immediate location. And so building relationships with those people is going to be, key to your success, within your company or within whatever it is that you're doing, right? Whether it's, if you're entrepreneur or whether you are actually, on a team, then then I think it would be um, essential to focus on building those relationships.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Emotion started in February this year as full time, and we're working remotely, and all my team members are remote. So, and we also have two new team members started remotely. We haven't met in person, but we have been kind of making use of all the tools that we can and building relationships over the internet. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that's just really kind of the way of the future. I think at this point, we will have access to a lot more resources, right? And relationships are always essential and really um, getting the job well done and feeling satisfied, right? So, if you read any of the Gallup surveys, right, or Gallup reports, I think that there's a direct link of one's commitment to the company and the relationship one builds within the team. So I would say that if you're really thinking about, building a successful company, you do really need to focus on building those relationships, whether it's with your employees or your peers, uh, or your, direct subordinates. So I think that's what's really going to bring you success.
What are the best practices have you learned from various companies and settings?
Sure. The first thing, if you want to build relationships, you really have to be a clear communicator, right? So there's, and at this point, I think I've read a number of articles on this, right? And have seen this in practice, right? If you don't communicate clearly and almost at this point over communicate, I think the message doesn't really register as well. So it looks like you also have to communicate on several channels. Like, for example, if you're holding maybe an all hands meeting, right? Maybe this is the time where you send some information ahead of time, allowing your employees to read through that so that when they're actually in that all hands meeting, they're actually listening to you right? Versus trying to read the slides or trying to catch up.